Hello everyone, Kevin Jackson. I'm here at Mobile World Congress in Las Vegas, and I've gotten the opportunity to meet with David Bezzant, the lead for sales in the government sector. Is that correct?
That's exactly it. I head T-Mobile's U.S. division for government, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today. Thanks so much.
You know, I have a background. I've been in the military, but I was a carrier pilot, actually.
Wow.
So the work that you're doing for the government is really, personal to me. And one of the products and services that you're offering is this T priority. And, communications is core to anything that anyone does, especially with first responders. So can you tell me a bit about what this T priority is?
I sure can. First of all, I just want to say thank you for your service.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it's an incredible honor to be able to be there with you, and for everyone who served this nation and who does serve this nation from a first responder's perspective, thank you. We are really excited to have a new brand, T Priority, and it's not just a new brand, it's a core product that is deeply embedded into the network infrastructure. The company has spent billions to be able to create this moment for this time in a modern era, and we're really proud of it. When you take a look at some of the solutions that have been brought forward for first responders, many of them started to launch in 2009 and were great 4G technologies. We're in a 5G era, and it's a quantum leap from 4G to 5G in terms of data speeds, in terms of low latency, and in terms of capability to take things like a police cruiser, an ambulance, or a fire truck and make it a high-speed mobile broadband office. And T-Mobile's capability to do that, having collected the assets of Sprint Communications, of Nextel Communications, of Metro PCS, and T-Mobile US, and putting $42 billion more into network infrastructure, has created this powerful brand and opportunity. And we'll talk a little bit more about it, I think, while we chat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And some of the things you've already pointed on, I maybe kind of pulled the string on that a bit, because you talked about some of the aspects of the network itself. Can you sort of bring out the benefits to the first responders?
I absolutely can, yeah. When you start to think about that, there's been dedicated signals that were created by other companies, and they really had strong leadership in the market for first responders. And when you take a look at the limitations of 4G and the advantages of 5G, one of the advantages of 5G is we can bifurcate portions of the network. And to explain that in really simple terms, we have elements called a switch.
Okay.
And when you go into a switch, there are millions and millions of dollars of blade servers and rows. And they have 3G servers, 4G servers, and 5G servers. On T-Mobile, we have a dedicated standalone 5G dedicated core, which means you don't go to a 4G or 3G server to communicate your traffic. You go straight to a dedicated 5G server. Those servers allow us to look at network traffic and find the lanes of that traffic and prioritize first responder traffic above other traffic, and also help clear or widen the lane. And one of the things that we see that happens in disasters is it goes location to location. We're working in a 4-state area right now on a series of hurricanes that have happened in the southeast.
Yeah.
And the network frequencies are different in each one of these geolocations they are in the other state over. And so when you have dynamic ability to give priority on a different lane in a different market and always make sure the first responder has the best network performance, that is a very powerful asset for T-Mobile to be able to deliver.
So David, I tell you, this T priority is exciting, but what made T-Mobile decide to do this? What was the requirements that you built this capability around?
Yeah, well, we thought through that heavily, and one, we're very committed to first responders and ultimately committed to the mission of quality. And as we took a look at that, seconds matter, and speed matters, and access matters for first responders. And we're living in a broadband world, and we need to bring digital broadband outside of 4 walls of a building and allow that within vehicles that they're in, within deliverables, within robotics and elements and drones. And you even take a look at camera systems and eyes on the ground for teams like that. They need very, very high speed, heavy, dense bandwidth with low latency, and they need to be able to have that as priority. And so that was really the mission, is to make the job easier for first responders across the country. I also do want to caveat that when we talk about the power of these technologies, none of these technologies are perfect. They don't have coverage in 100% of places. There are challenges and are errors, and so we also want to make sure that we're appropriately humble about what the technologies can do, but it is the best-in-class opportunity for first responders to communicate.
So this is revolutionary from a mission point of view for first responders.
Yeah, it is so incredible to have Nextel's network, Sprint's network, and T-Mobile US's network all combined into one really powerful network. And T-Mobile's invested $42 billion on top of that just in the last 4 years on new network towers and connectivity, most of that in rural America, by the way. And for the very first time ever, rural America now has a great choice for first responders in addition to suburban and urban communities.
Oh no, that's really important. You know, today our population seem to be concentrated in the urban areas, but really the emergencies happen everywhere. So that coverage over urban is critical. So thank you very much, David, for that in-depth discussion on T-Priority and the value.
It's been an honor. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.